Hello and welcome to Dingle All the Way. I'm Simon.
My name is Lizzie. Sorry, I don't know why I said that.
Feels like you're doing some sort of screen test for something.
That just came out and it feels all
My
wrong.
acting age is 28 to 35.
Yeah.
Happy New Year, everyone.
Yeah. Sorry.
This is just already completely fallen apart.
Yeah. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. We hope you had a lovely break. In this episode, we're going to sort of cover Christmas, I guess. Although, on reflection, last year I was another person. I don't remember anything that happened before the stroke of midnight on January 1st.
Whereas I have written more notes for the last sort of 2-week period of Emmerdale than ever before, because I think I started writing notes in a physical notepad and I just couldn't stop. I've written down like everything that's ever happened.
Every line of dialogue. Oh my goodness.
Every storyline in this enormous book.
Oh gosh, you've done it like it's some sort of penance.
It did feel like that in a way. I think I sort of got into this thing of like, what if I write down something? What if I forget to write something down and then I want to refer back to it later? So I was just sort of writing down like a lot of things. But
yeah, great. Well, you might have to carry a lot of that, and so we're gonna go up to and including Corriedale, which
goodness,
at the time of
yeah.
recording was yesterday. But then we're not going to do post Corriedale for reasons that we will reveal later in the podcast, I assume.
I mean, you're very much in charge. Simon and I have been over the last week or so, like deciding when we're going to record this podcast, when we're going to record our next podcast, and what we're going to cover in each. And every single time I've been like, "Oh, does that mean we're going to be talking about this thing and that?" And he's been like, "No, we already agreed we would do it this way." I'm just like, I literally can't remember anything that we've decided. So you're sharing this one because I don't know what I meant to talk about unless you tell me.
Yes, every single one of those conversations has felt like a drunk driving test or something. Where it's like, please just show some sort of cognitive awareness.
I am your hazard perception and you're just bashing that button like something's going to happen, which to be fair feels like Corriedale.
So true. Well, I was going to say let's start with Christmas, but what I've written down is Eve. Look at all those vegetables.
What does that even mean?
I don't know, but apparently Eve said that at some point.
Well, to be fair, I just wrote a small little heading called Christmas, and all it says is, so many children. I don't know what that says. And wool-packed lunch looks nice.
I'm starting to see why our subscribers are dying away.
They're not. They're just on a holiday.
They're just on a break.
Yeah, there were just like absolutely hordes of children. I don't know who any of them were. But I did think that the meal actually looked nice, which for me is huge because most times I see anybody sort of post about their Christmas lunch or you see like Christmas lunches on TV, I always think they just look a bit sad. But this one looked great.
Do you have any hot takes on what should or shouldn't be in a Christmas dinner?
I'm quite big on making dauphinoise potatoes to go with it. Also mashed potatoes and roast potatoes.
I love that. Trio potato.
Some sort of like cheesy leeks and Yorkshire puddings, as well as, you know, all the other classic things.
This sounds amazing. Yeah. I fully believe that Yorkshire puddings should be in a Christmas dinner, but I've got colleagues who are so angry about this.
Why could you be angry about that? This is an Emmerdale podcast. That's basically a hate crime.
I know, true. They love them as a roast dinner on a Sunday, but not on Christmas dinner. I'm like, Christmas dinner is your average roast dinner, but better. Yeah. Why would you take out something that's great in a roast dinner?
Yeah, that is really gutting. And I think maybe that's why my Christmas dinner has got a bit out of hand, because whenever I do a roast dinner, I usually end up doing cheesy leeks, pigs in blankets, and Yorkshire puddings, as well as a whole load of other things. So then when it's Christmas, you're like, well, we'd better have 3 types of potato, red cabbage, bread sauce, Brussels sprouts. Otherwise, it's just a roast.
That's incredible. Did you happen to spot what they were eating in Emmerdale?
No, I just wrote down that it looked nice! !
And we do know that Eve apparently thought there were lots of vegetables. I have no recollection of this meal happening at all, so I don't know what.
Like we were both in a fever dream, but we did have a biro on hand.
And I have written down also read this. Everyone alarmingly committed to Christmas hats.
I would like to think everybody is alarmingly committed to Christmas hats on Christmas Day. It's always sad when the first person takes them off.
We actually do, as a Thomas family, have an annual tradition that you win if you keep your hat on the longest, which I immediately forfeit because I do find it comfortable, and it's usually mum and dad fighting it out. And we also, it's not seasonal any longer, but let me introduce everyone to the fun game of halfway through the meal trying to remember what colour your hat is. Surprisingly hard.
Oh, I love that. That sounds really
it's a fun one.
good. Would
Take
love
that
to
to
play
next cracker
that.
party.
Mm.
Yeah.
Something I did write down for Christmas, but it was under my Chaz and Liam heading, so I missed it.
Ooh.
Was why on earth would Ruby and Caleb be having Christmas dinner with Chaz, Liam, and Robron, etc.?
Yeah, well, I guess because they are technically Dingles, but albeit not. But
Well,
Caleb,
really, they're like Milligans. I
they're
suppose,
saying
yeah.
Miss Milligan, but Caleb is Kane and Chaz's brother or
I
half
just feel
brother.
like socially, the only time I've ever really seen them hang out was when they accidentally / on purpose killed Anthony, which isn't really a social occasion. Like, it felt like they were just thrown together, and it was like, okay, now we have to interact with you, but we don't really want to. And now they're spending Christmas together. I think if anybody in the village would like to just spend Christmas with their significant other and nobody else, it'd be Ruby and Caleb.
Oh my gosh, yeah. I mean, you can see I know they've done a bit of like Ruby trying to like the Dingles, and of course she did have that ill-fated affair with Kane, if you can call it. Well, they slept together once, which I was remembering today. It's like, well, it's nice that we never think about that at all.
Yeah, that was
But,
a real low light of the whole year. It was so
yeah,
pointless.
it was bleak. But yeah, you can see generally she's like, it's nice they're around, but I simply don't want to be around them. And I can respect that. And I guess there's no real reason why Steph, I mean, in real life, we know she's on maternity leave, but within the show, she just is still on holiday in Rome, maybe?
Yeah, it's sort of an extended trip at this point, isn't it?
Do you think maybe you pop home for Christmas rather than be like, I'm still months in on holiday?
She's getting
Like
some
the Airbnb is just
headspace.
extended over and over and over because she spent thousands and thousands of pounds on that Airbnb at this point.
And that's just on the booking fees.
Yeah, I can't imagine what the cleaning fee is at this point. But yeah, it was weird. It was quite nice though. I do like a bit. There was a bit of just Christmas cheer. It wasn't too bleak and miserable. Like soaps traditionally are quite miserable at Christmas, and this one there were a few moments of just like nice, happy.
Yeah,
Nothing really significant happening. I guess the misery was all Kim up at home farm.
that's true. That was miserable.
Yeah. I wrote down Kim's nostalgia for Will is hard to sympathise with when his death was an enormous blessing.
And when she saw it as such as well.
Exactly. And I did love the when Lydia came up and gave Kim a piece of her mind, and like, they had the whole feud over some slightly complex thing about booking a shooting party. But you could see that, Lydia, I think we talked about this last time, Lydia being the only moral person was quite anxious about it, but then she just, didn't take nonsense from Kim. And I liked the line where she said, "You've done much worse than this." Like, yeah, she probably did much worse that day.
Yeah, but I do also think it was kind of out of character of Kim to forgive Lydia, or at least as quickly as she did. Like, I feel like Kim is meant to be one of Emmerdale's long-standing, like, I don't know how to say this, but like, I don't think she would have just been like, "Oh yeah, you know what, you are right, and you do really care about me, it's fine." I think she would have, I don't know, stood her ground a bit longer.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, she's been very forgiving about all the things Joe did to her. And she was quite forgiving about Will when I suppose Will didn't have an affair, did he? She just thought he did.
Yeah, I think she just thought he did, but yeah, that's true.
He was very forgiving about her burying him alive. That was just
Yeah.
water off duck's back for him.
Very strangely forgiving about the whole thing, actually. Oh gosh, yeah, I forgot. Basically, my favourite thing about Christmas was watching Joe and Kim at Sam and Lydia's house.
Oh yes.
And that was just so sweet. And I love / am praying for the friendship between Joe and Sam. I think that's really
all
nice.
we want. It's what we crave.
I particularly enjoyed Joe's line, "We're enjoying being here just as you are having us," which could really mean anything, couldn't
it? Yeah, I do love that sort of commitment to Joe, like trying to be friendly, but also quite rightly being appalled by everything he sees.
Yeah, I really love Joe, as we all know.
It's no secret to anyone.
Yeah.
I don't know if I ever need to see the welly again. I know that's become a tradition, but it's a lot to take in, and I just hope it comes with like a side of penicillin.
A penicillin chaser.
An absolute must. Because I mean, look, Kim's been through a lot recently. That could really take her out at this point.
Yeah, and she seems to magically not be on crutches now when she was, and then she sort of had that sort of wobble in the episode that was inexplicably all grey. But then she kind of seemed fine after, so...
We will get onto that. My worry was that she could say, "Ugh, these cobbles," and that was reference to Coronation Street being called the cobbles because of, cobbled street.
Oh, see, I guess this is just one of those things that goes straight over your head when you've never even considered watching an episode of Coronation Street.
Neither have I, but somehow just by osmosis and or my addiction circa late 90s, early 2000s to reading Inside Soap magazine has opened some windows for me. Windows into the soul, if you will.
It's just infiltrated into your very being, and you've got to respect it. I suppose while we're talking about Kim, we haven't really touched on the Joe Dawn proposal because that was unhinged.
Yes, that was unexpected. I quite enjoyed that he was like genuinely emotional. I felt very sad that Ross and Aaron and Robert were mocking him because like, just be nice. I mean, I know he did steal a kidney, etc., etc., but
he's still a person.
He's still a human man, and he was wearing his heart on his sleeve, and that should be rewarded, not mocked.
Yeah, and sometimes Joe just seems like a little boy who is a bit lost in the world and is just so pleased that somebody loves him, and that's it's sad when people are just standing there like actively like laughing at him. I felt really sorry for him because it sort of just like showed him looking a bit small.
So we've got 3 couples who are currently engaged. We'll talk more about the third one later, but I'm intrigued. Out of the 3, Joe and Dawn, Chaz and Liam, Rob Ron, which do you think will actually make it down the aisle?
Chaz and Liam are not getting married, surely.
Not a chance.
Definitely not. I think that Joe and Dawn will get married, but it'll be ill-fated, unfortunately. But I think Robert and Aaron will probably go the distance. What about you?
Yeah, obviously Chaz and Liam aren't getting a sniff of a wedding.
They wouldn't dream of it.
Yeah, it's the last thing on their minds. They don't want to be in the same room as each other, let alone in a church saying I do. In fact, I will in this country, isn't it? But Rob Ron, I think, will. I do think Joe and Dawn will have a wedding day, but I don't think they're going to get married. I think one or other of them will walk away at the aisle.
Well, I mean, Dawn, I think, is still married to Billy, so surely it's not going to be an imminent marriage anyway.
Yeah, yes, well, true. I mean, Robert is still married to Kevin and Aaron's still married to John, so there's a lot of people amazing proposals who are currently wed.
There's just going to be so many divorces happening. Bless them all.
Yeah, Bells knows the trick. She should really be a divorce planner rather than a wedding planner.
Yeah.
That would really help the books.
I think, that would definitely be more profitable in Emmerdale than her current job. Something I thought was quite interesting was that I think potentially the first conversation Dawn and Charity have ever had, certainly that I've witnessed, was Charity sort of goading Dawn in the Woolpack, like, I think Joe's about to break up with you. Like, was that the first time they've ever set eyes on each other? And that was that was going on.
It was very confusing. And like, I know Charity's got the backstory of Joe breaking her daughter's heart, but I mean, she doesn't seem to have given that a second thought for the best part of a year.
No.
But suddenly it's all she can think of.
Yeah, it was quite a confusing time. Was that Debbie?
Debbie, yeah.
Big Debs.
Big Debs, who did have this lovely relationship with whatever Ned Porteous' character was called when he was pretending to be someone else. And then he'd big unveil, being like, actually, I'm Joe Tate. And everyone's like, what?
Goodness, that's crazy. I need to go and read about that.
Yeah, I feel like his name was something Waterhouse or something. Liam Water? No, I don't know. But he was very sweet as that character, quite bland. And then he's like, oh, he's evil. But then he did get with Debbie eventually, even as Joe Tate as well. Because, again, very forgiving.
The forgiving Dingles, that's what they're called.
Whilst we're talking about weddings, I did not have my bingo card, and yet I love it. The wedding of Eric and Kerry.
Yeah, what the heck is going
It's
on there?
so stupid, but I
It's
love it.
so stupid, but I love it. And yeah, the fact that Sarah and Jacob literally turned up to the courthouse and then looked up and they were like, wait, what?
And Kerry was like,
Literally
yes, this is
so
a marriage of
good.
financial convenience, and yet I do need to find the most unhinged bridal outfit ever. It's like,
Yeah,
she's really committing to the bit.
I think the only thing I wrote down in my notes is just Carrie and Eric, what? In capital letters.
Yeah, it doesn't look like one of those things that is really going to cut the mustard when they are actually quizzed about whether this is a genuine marriage or not. But maybe they won't be quizzed. I guess maybe they'll just be allowed to do what they want.
Yeah, I don't think they probably will be, given that it seems like Eric is able to pull legal strings whenever he needs to with anybody. So
Yeah, because I did talk, someone I was talking to, potentially my dad, about whether or not people could just spontaneously get married. And he was like, no, even if it's not in a church, they do have to like read whatever the equivalent of banns is. But so it's nice that Emmerdale acknowledged that and just sort of was like, oh yeah, Eric just made a phone call. Turns out you don't need to follow the law if you know someone on the local town council.
yeah, if you've ever so much as looked at a medal around a mare's neck, what are those things called? They're really like shiny.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, then you can just get married whenever you want. It's
You
fine.
can do literally anything.
You can do
Like,
anything
the
you
law
want.
doesn't apply to you.
Yeah. I was quite interested that Jacob was so chuffed with that horrible jumper that Sarah got him. Did you notice that? It was
I
like,
didn't hate her. I'm sorry.
oh, sorry to hear that. It was awful. It was
What, the
awful,
one,
Simon.
what is it? It's like a bit of colour blocking, bit of,
Yeah, colour
earthy
blocking and
tones.
not in a good way, in like a Dorothy Perkins men way.
Let's not say things we don't mean about Dorothy Perkins. She served people well for a number of years.
You're wearing a really good jumper right now, so
Oh,
I
thank
did
you very
think better
much.
of you than what you've just said.
I saw somebody on Reddit like earnestly trying to find it for her boyfriend's Christmas present.
I
So
also saw that and I thought,
yeah.
oh, that's difficult.
Whereas I was wholeheartedly supporting her. I just like it when people try something that isn't just like a plain navy jumper, I guess.
Yeah, I guess so. And I am wearing a plain sort of taupe jumper right
That's
now.
true. I mean, you look lovely in it, but what I'm saying is that, Jacob and Sarah were trying something and it's not the worst of their problems.
Yeah, they've got much bigger fish to fry, to be fair.
They seemed livid that this marriage had overshadowed their wedding, although I can't imagine anyone's that invested in their wedding since, they got together about a week before they got engaged. Oh no, they got engaged the day they got together, didn't they? The very moment they got together.
Yeah, they had
And
no relationship outside of being engaged.
no, and ever since then, the only thing that has happened in their lives is Jacob looking anxious and Sarah just giving vitamins to charity on the hour every hour.
She's so annoying. There was a really nice moment when Charity said to her, "The whole world does not revolve around you," which was really nice. But then she sort of immediately revoked it the next day because she felt bad. She's like, "Actually, you were right. The
No, it
world
does.
does
It
revolve
does.
around you and this baby, which is not yours." One question I did have was, why did Kane look so glum at Sarah and Jacob's wedding? I don't know if you spotted that. He literally looked like death.
Kane.
Yeah, Kane was sat there in the wool pack, just like looking like he was hating every moment. But maybe
Well, I
he's
guess
just,
you would, wouldn't you?
yeah, he's probably been to a lot of weddings.
I wish that Cammy had a little more of a role to play in the wedding, but I was glad that he did come there and had a line or two, because it's like Cammy was at one point really close friends with these two.
Yeah, and I also noticed him having a little dance and a chat with Belle, and I thought, I really hope that's back on the cards for 2026, not to slip into our predictions
Yeah, we don't
too
want to predict things too
soon, but
early.
I would like that.
Yeah, that was one of the more confusing things in this year, is how they led up to that and immediately stopped. But
Yeah, I think they had to make way for something. I don't know what.
yeah, curious.
Curiouser and curiouser. Did you see Sam's dancing at the wedding? It was unhinged.
Oh, I did, yeah, and
I
like, God
loved
bless
it.
him. It's
It
nice
was
that he's
pure
having a good time.
chaos.
Sam will turn up to any event. Like, he's at everything.
He doesn't need to know why or how.
Especially if there's free booze, of course.
Yeah.
Like, does he have a problem? I don't know.
Oh, I think everybody does. Definitely Ruby.
Yeah, bless her heart. Although obviously her terrible wine business is at least making a a blessing of her curse.
Yeah, blessing of her curse. Yeah.
I'm intrigued to know what else you have under your Chaz Liam headline.
Oh, I sort of moved on from that a while ago. What did I have? I had Who on Earth Is That Child with Liam?
Goodness knows.
And that was ages ago. They were like walking through the village. I think that was maybe like on around the 22nd or 23rd. I don't know.
As far as I know, he doesn't have a child, but nothing could be less surprising than him just having one he's never mentioned.
I wrote, was the murder mystery actually amazing, Chaz? Because she was like gutted about going, and like in the yesterday's one, she was like, yeah, it's amazing. It's like, I don't think you would have enjoyed one moment of it.
Well, did you see after that she sort of looked to the side like, ugh, like as though
I missed that. I was probably too busy writing down in my notepad.
The notepad's really drawn attention away from the show in a way that I think you're just looking at the notepad now. That's the show.
I think I am, but it's been quite fun. And then I don't know why this is under the Chaz and Liam heading, but I have written Claudette Randy on Shandy.
Oh yes, that was a curious moment from her.
Yeah, it was horrible actually, and I thought that was very un-Claudette of her. But I think they are trying to make her like less judgmental and more fun, which is nice.
I think so, yeah. Because there were that sort of those hints that she was horrible to Charles that didn't really go anywhere yet.
Well,
but
I really thought that was gearing up for something because she kept on being basically like, I love this ex-convict that I just met more than you.
Maybe it was she's just having an off day. Maybe she just happened to glance at how tedious Charles was and be like, yeah, I think he needs to know.
I don't get why you hate Charles so much. I just think he's like a normal person and we do need more of that in Emmerdale.
Yeah, I guess I'm just with Claudette. He's a disappointment.
Look, if you were on Emmerdale, you would be as boring as Charles. No offense.
I don't know what you think the word offense means. Oh dear. Yeah, no fair. I also I don't know why I'm going back to Chaz and Liam because it's the least interesting thing, but I did write down a chink in the armour of their relationship. But then it's like, it's more just like the whole arm. It's all chink, no armour. Like, there's nothing there. But I mean, I would be up for a murder mystery party anytime, Liam, and I love them. So I was Team Liam on that one, and that hurts me to say, the idea that anyone would be Team Liam at anything.
It's gutting.
But Chaz looked fantastic in her murder outfit, I thought.
I know, she looked so good. And also her hair is really long. Although I was like, maybe she's got extensions in, but her hair was so long.
Yeah, and pulled back. It really suits her.
Yeah.
She should go to more murder mysteries.
I was quite confused about where Liam went during the Corriedale episode because they were both at the scene of the crash. And then I think they were both at the hospital. And then she went off in a taxi with that guy from Coronation Street. And I thought, affair?
I know, it's like, it's just going to be a long-running affair between shows, but maybe
which could be quite cute.
Yeah, could be fun. I guess particularly if they never actually physically cross over again, it's just they're having this affair when we just see one of them walking out of a bedroom every now and then. Well, they said the murder mystery was in Weatherfield, which is where Coronation Street is set. So
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so I guess maybe they were taxiing back from Coronation Street, and then she just like moseyed around for a bit.
But like, I mean that like Liam wasn't in the end of the episode really, but she was.
No, that's true. I guess maybe he went to do some work at the hospital. No,
the hospital that he doesn't work at.
It's just because of Neighbours. Carl would always just do things at the hospital, even though he was a local GP. But no, I guess it's not. I guess that's maybe Emmerdale's got a smidge more realism.
Yeah, I don't know, because also they're not at Hot and General. All the people who were injured were taken to a hospital like nearer to Manchester.
Oh yeah,
and so it's also
the beds like seem to just now be in
they're
corridors.
just in the wrong beds, which actually is what the NHS is largely like. But from a friend who is head of an A&E, she's like, yeah, it's pretty awful at the moment. Everyone's just like queuing up in beds to even get into resus. So.
And as we will learn later, like being full on shot is something that you're expected to get over on a night's sleep. Like we seem like you're doing okay.
Yeah, you know what? You seem fine. Why don't you just pop yourself in that chair?
Yeah, exactly. We've got, someone might feel a bit faint and we need to give the bed to them. Little callback there. But so, I mean, there's so many other things that have happened that we haven't touched on yet, like the return of both Kev and John.
I know. I just feel a bit overwhelmed because there's so much for us to talk about that I don't think we're going to be able to do any of it justice, but we move. I have really, really enjoyed the interactions between Kev and John, and the fact that Kev is just not putting up with any of John being like trying to be looming, trying to be threatening. Kev is not really that bothered about any of it. Like, there was one bit when John was like, "There's a storm coming," and Kev just looks out the window like, "Is what else?"
Yeah, I thought it was so telling because, like, John has obviously tried to play all of this sort of intense seriousness, and Kev's just gone for like high camp the whole time,
Yeah,
and
so
and
good.
it met together in a way that works so much better than I thought. Because I thought it would just make John's stuff look really stupid when you got Kev just having a whale of a time, but somehow the combination did really work. It's the first
Yeah,
time I found John interesting.
yeah, same. I kind of loved it, and I loved like, I don't know, like John walking in like looking awful, like and murderous and rampaging, and Kev's just like, "You okay, hun?"
Yeah.
I love it. I love it all.
You need a spin-off. I mean, admittedly, John is dead, but let's we'll get on to that. But oh my gosh, well, actually, maybe we should just talk about it now because it does feel like a Christmas miracle / all my New Year's hopes came true. The 3 characters I'm most sick of, all dead. They've all been killed off.
Wait, who? People in Coronation Street.
No, Celia, Ray, John, they're all dead.
So true. Oh my word! It is a Christmas miracle that we don't have to watch Celia and Ray anymore.
And it was so abrupt. Like, that storyline seemed like it would never end. And then it felt so weird to me that after just going on for months and months of the same scene over and over again, Celia killed one day, Ray dead the next. Laurel found out off screen. Like, it's
Yeah, I know. We didn't even get to see Laurel have this big realization. Thankfully, we got to see her have a go at Ray. But yeah, we've been gearing up for this for such a long time. I bet they won't even show like Marlon finding out or any of it. It will just
no.
be like, okay, April's back in school.
Yeah, exactly. She's 16 now. And no, but why did Dylan suddenly decide to tell Laurel after all this time? Like, what changed?
I truly don't know. Yeah, it was tenuous at best.
But I mean, thrilled that they're both dead because I don't want to ever set eyes on them again. Surprising that not Dylan, Joe, Ray, oh gosh, I'm going to break down.
You're
Ray
malfunctioning.
is the one who killed Celia, and she was like, "I'm proud of you." Like, okay, great. But I was just so happy that she was dead. That
Yeah.
I didn't care. The house wants went
Such a
away.
relief. I wonder whether April will ever find out that she didn't actually kill that man.
I'm assuming. I mean, if she thought about it, she would realize the fact that Ray ended up holding the card means that he's alive because his widow is not going to give it to him, is he? So
I just think let's never assume that April will work something out. It's a shame. I
I
also
assume she will
really
work it out.
I found it really funny because when she was finally telling Marlon and Rona everything, she said, "I killed a man, not Celia, not Ray, me," and it felt so much like that Harry Potter scene that everyone does the memes of. And he's like, "Not me, not Hermione, you."
I'm not familiar with this meme.
No, I'm gonna have to send it to you.
You will.
I think that's what they say.
I'm sure they do. For someone
Yeah.
who is online 24/7, I do somehow seem to miss these things.
I'm really sorry about that.
So we've obviously got a few people lined up as maybe having killed Ray. So we've got Ross and April and Laurel. Any thoughts on who it might be?
I don't think it was April because I think she is so gutted about having supposedly killed this other person that would not be good. I think that Rona might have because she was on the phone to somebody
Oh yes, like
and she was like, "Have you done it yet?" And then which we haven't even spoken about, Graham was in the hospital and he was on the phone and he was like, he said like that something is off, like the job is off or like the job's can't done or cancelled or something.
Oh yeah,
And I
we will
wondered
come on
whether
to
like
him.
she somehow did know that Graham was alive and had commissioned him to kill.
Oh, interesting. Because when I got that call, obviously it was before. When I saw that call, obviously it was before Corriedale. So I thought she was maybe phoning Ross, asking him to do it. But
Oh yeah, because didn't Ross have a gun in his car?
he had something. But then Laurel had like scissors or something, which is like,
It's not the best way to go. Yeah, I don't know, but I can't wait to find out. I'm sure we won't find out for maybe years.
Maybe a
'Cause
full calendar year.
they love to spin these things out.
I'm mostly thrilled that Charlotte Bellamy is going to have a really good storyline to get her teeth into, because I think she'll be really good at whatever this is.
Yeah, and
She
she
plays
has
Laurel.
been great so far as well.
Yeah, the scene where well, as I say, didn't see her finding out about Ray, but the scene where she confronted him, really powerful.
Yeah,
I loved that.
so good.
Yeah, and because going back a bit, that episode where she and Nicola thought that they'd killed Anthony, even that was so good that it's like, wow.
Yeah, so true. Imagine if she actually has killed somebody.
Yeah.
That'd be even worse.
My feeling is that maybe she thinks she's killed him, but it'll turn out it was somebody else. That's
just like Anthony.
Just like Anthony.
She's always paranoid that she's killed someone.
Always the kill maid, never the killer. Is that something?
I think that is a phrase. Yeah. Something that quite amused me is I never noticed before in Laurel's flat. There's like a big sign that says "laugh" in like cursive script, and it looks so much like the live and the love just fell off.
To be fair, there's a lot of people losing both their life and their love in that
Yeah,
house.
well, maybe Ray took a hint.
You have to laugh.
And he died.
Oh dear, yeah, gosh, it was such a weirdly abrupt ending to that. It also, April disappearing for a bit did include my least favourite, not just a soap trope, just like a TV trope, where Marlon was said, her bed's not been slept in. It's like, how do you know? Ever since we've had maids doing hospital corners in the morning, there's no way of knowing if someone slept in a bed or not.
Yeah, and I mean, maybe this is me outing myself here. I never make my bed, so you would literally never know.
No, I very seldom make mine. And even people who do make their bed, like, how do you know it was made yesterday rather than today or whatever? Like, you can't. And yet, people so often say her bed's not been slept in TV shows. Like, on what grounds are you making this assumption, Marlon?
Yeah, so true. I think one of the only people I know who makes their bed is my mum, and I remember so often as a child seeing her. She would literally make her bed just before she and my dad went to bed. I'd just be like, why are you doing that? She's like, oh, it just feels nice, doesn't it, getting into a bed that's been made? Just bless her. She sort of got to enjoy it being made for like half an hour and then got in.
I actually really hate it when you go to a hotel or whatever and the duvet is really tightly tucked under the mattress. Like, I can't get in now.
Yeah, that really reminds me of staying at my grandma's house. She used to tuck it in all the way along the sides and at the end as well. I remember just getting in and feeling really stressed and like, I have to pull this apart. And it must be like quite difficult for whoever's making the bed to make it do that. And then all the person who's getting in the bed does is like have a claustrophobic panic attack and rip it apart. It's a lose-lose.
It truly is. So April was saved from that, if anything.
Yeah, so true.
Yeah, I didn't actually know where April went. Do we know where April went during this period? I can't remember.
Nobody knows. And I don't know how she managed to track Ross down because she lost her phone in the woods.
Yeah. Gosh, and so much going on, so many things to say. When Joe took her to like dig her own grave in the middle of the night.
Joe? I think that was Ray.
Oh, sorry, he's played by Joe Absalom, so I keep using actor names instead of character name.
Yeah, that was a lot. And then when he like stabbed the tree instead of her, and later April was like, oh yeah, he tried to kill me but he couldn't do it. It's like, actually he could do it, it's just that you ducked.
Yeah, and also I thought he was just trying to be like, fine, I'm not going to do it when he stabbed the tree.
Oh, I thought he was like aiming for her and she got out of the way.
Maybe. Do you reckon he's killed a lot of people before? I got the impression that he wasn't very good at it.
Yeah, I got the impression he wasn't very good at it. I mean, he even sort of got Dylan to beat people up for him, or someone else to beat people up for him. So I think he maybe hasn't.
I mean, as ever, this operation is like amateur at best, it seems, but relying entirely on the stupidity of those around them.
Yeah, and relying entirely, it would seem, on two teenagers.
Yeah.
Like at the beginning, it was like they've got this big operation, and there's all these different little boys on bikes and stuff,
Maybe,
But by
yeah.
now it seems just to be old people plucking turkeys and April and Dylan sometimes delivering drugs.
Yeah, surely it's easier just to run a legitimate turkey business at this point.
And are we saying that Bear is dead?
Oh no, I wouldn't have thought so. I think she was. I think Celia was lying when she said
But
all that
didn't
stuff.
didn't Ray then go up to the sort of hovel and be like, "Oh, I'm so sorry" to him or something? And I was like, "Oh,
Oh, he
maybe he
did,
is
didn't
dead."
he? Maybe he is. But when she was like, "Oh, I'd love to say it was painless, but it actually was slow and awful," or something, it's like, "Oh gosh, like that can't be real. They wouldn't do that."
I don't know. Or maybe he was just apologizing for the opiate addiction that he's given him.
I just, Lizzie, I do not have time for a storyline about Bear recovering from opiate addiction. I just don't know me.
I personally have not got capacity for it in 2026, but if it's something
It's
they
not
want
the
to
energy
invest
I'm going
in,
into in 2026. It simply isn't. Like, I
but
can't.
first, opiate addiction.
I don't want to learn about methadone all over again. I just won't.
Yeah, it does feel like it would be a very educational storyline, which we've all had enough of because they start out so educational and then by the end you're like, this is a complete farce. For example, the county line storyline.
Yes. Or domestic abuse, turning into
Yeah,
axe wielding, etc., etc.
so true.
Yeah, well, let's just have Bear just, he could do his recovery entirely off screen. That would be lovely.
Yeah, that would be really nice. Or he could
I
just be
guess,
dead.
yeah, either way, I don't really care, to be honest. Uh, actually, I think everything else I want to talk about is Corriedale related, except one line I really enjoyed from Aaron, um, which was, I think it was, he was trying to get hold of Robert or someone. He said, he's not answered. And someone said, what at all? He's like, what do you mean at all? He's not going to answer it a little bit, is he?
Yeah, that's quite
And it's like,
nice.
that's great.
Let me see if I've got. I mean, I have got a lot of other things written down. Let me see if there's
Well,
anything I
yeah, I
actually want to
assume you can
share.
just rattle off the full dialogue for the entire fortnight.
At one point, I wrote down that Joe was wearing a coat and a scarf that were basically the same color, and I thought that was a weird choice. Awful nutcracker decorations at home farm. Really horrible.
Oh,
Very
they're
visceral.
terrifying, weren't they?
Yeah, visceral and enormous. Um,
Visceral.
I wrote down that of course Lydia has a Honda Jazz. That's so Lydia.
I couldn't know less about what cars are, as you know, but I'm glad
So
for that
true.
comedy.
It's very, very Lydia. Um, I wrote down that in the cafe, Jimmy's flashing Christmas jumper was a lot.
Yeah, I mean, that is classic Jimmy. You have to admire it.
Mm. I wrote down that I can't see Joe Tate having engagement drinks at the wall pack, but sure.
Yeah, I mean, he would at the very least go to the Airbnb or to the B&B dining room that, as we just talked about, is a very tiny, slightly cut above.
Yeah, I think he would
Um,
just be getting out of Emmerdale for his engagement drinks. He would be going to like Harrogate.
that's true. He must love Harrogate. Why is he ever
Yeah,
stepping foot in Emmerdale Village?
like he's definitely just got a membership to the Turkish baths and good on him. I
Yeah,
think
if
I
I were him,
texted. Oh no, you
I'm
go.
sorry. I was to say, if I were him, I'd just be like, Dawn, let's move. Let's bring your 3 to 5 children and let's
I think he
get out
tried
of here.
that, and she was like, "No." So now
She's
he's
like,
trapped there.
she's like all my happy memories of when I was like a prostitute here or something.
I want to be reminded of my own sad past, actually, if you don't mind.
Every single day. Billy can't be away from his 3 to 5 children either. So
Yeah. I think I texted you about this, but like, what the heck happened on the holiday that Aaron and Robert had? Because they both came back looking absolutely haggard.
yeah, and they just seem to recover from it relatively quickly. But for those first couple of scenes, it did look like they'd been through the mill.
Yeah, honestly, through the mill. And then they came back and like their topiary was just being set fire to and stuff. And that's
Not
not
a
a very nice,
euphemism.
not a euphemism this time. Um, but I did enjoy that they had time to move into that flat and fully decorate for Christmas in about 24 hours after their holiday.
And I don't think either of them would particularly care about decorating for Christmas. Certainly Aaron
No,
wouldn't, but I can't really see
certainly
it being on
Aaron
Rob's
wouldn't.
bingo card. So,
Um, no, it definitely would have been Kev doing that if it was him. But
okay, I would
um,
love a bit of Christmas festive cheer.
and once again, it would be remiss of us not to talk about just how high the proportion of banister to everything else in that flat is.
You
But
have
that
to
the
note it.
banisters, they finally came in useful because they were zip tied to them.
That's true. I thought you were going to say because they
So,
put tinsel on them or something, but no.
I mean, I'm sure that at points there have been tinsel on them as well. But at this stage, they were decorated with hostages. They finally came into their own.
Yes, both their husbands have held them hostage there in recent weeks. That's something they've got in
Yeah,
common.
that's really nice. And at one point, I suppose, historically, Robert was holding Aaron hostage, but that was on a radiator, not a banister, wasn't
Yeah,
it? So,
elsewhere, but I don't think the set existed at that point. Otherwise, I'm sure he could have done it closer to home. But yeah, I mean, John's journey has been an interesting one, from accidental manslaughter to spiraling into like evil delusions. Like, he can't possibly believe the John that we saw at the beginning of his storyline couldn't possibly believe that Aaron and Vic and Harry would go to France with him.
no. And also that, like, his whole premise earlier this year was like, I hate that I keep on doing this, but
Mm.
I just keep putting people in danger so that I can save them, and I know it's really bad. But now he's just like, actually, I love putting people in danger and I don't care if they die.
Yeah. Although he's increasingly bad at it. Like, the fact that he kills people by accident all the time, and now he's like desperately trying to shoot people and doesn't seem able to do it.
Yeah, he's like making bombs.
Defunct bombs. I do wonder what he Googled to make a bomb. It's like, just as long as it's got like shining lights on it, you're good to go.
Yeah, I mean, I think he was certainly asking Jeeves about some unusual things.
Yeah, he just
Um,
wound up as in Carter CD. It was like bomb making.
um, he, you know, when he tried to set off the bomb in the car, pressing that big red button,
Mm,
he
mm.
was stood like right next to the car in that
He would
barn.
definitely have died.
I
Yeah,
was like, I wrote that down. I was like, if the bomb did go off, he would have died. Like, how dumb is this guy?
he's pretty dumb. He's pretty dumb. Yeah, and well, hopefully Robert and Aaron will have a little piece from their ex-husband. Well, I feel like Kev is going to come back, but maybe he'll come back a bit chiller, because he did have that sort of coming good where he told Aaron about John, and he was like, "Don't worry, I'm sort of over it all now."
Yeah, true. He did the right thing. I do wonder whether he'll stick around and be Lewis's dad.
The actor has confirmed that he's finished his scenes for now, so
What? So that's just the end of him, and we don't get to say goodbye.
well, not gosh, I didn't think it'd be that moving for you, but
It's not moving for me. I'm just confused.
yeah, I think so, but I get the impression that they're going to try and get him back. But I guess if they're filming like 3 months in advance, it might be a while.
Yeah, fair. Wow, there was just so much to talk about, and we haven't even spoken about Corriedale yet.
Should we start?
Yeah, I got to turn a page in my enormous notebook.
Yeah, I assume you've got a whole separate notebook devoted to this. What I will say is, at the beginning of the episode, curiously, they did it on the episode before Corriedale. They did the little montage of like, here's everything that's going on. And I will say that little montage would not have helped anyone. Bless him for trying. Like, I watched it, I was like, I'm quite confused, and I watched all of these scenes.
Yeah, and why was it all so dark? It was so everything was so grey and ominous. And like I get that they want it to be ominous, but I was actually struggling to see what was happening in some of the scenes.
Well, I do think for the Corriedale itself, yeah, it's like, if you're going to give us a whole bunch of characters that we may well not know who they are, why have you filmed them essentially with the shutter lens on? It was just like a mime shit. Well, no, it was just like what's the opposite of a silent movie? An audiobook.
An audiobook. Yeah, Corriedale was essentially filmed in Braille, and that's fine. It's fine, but I just
We love it. We love accessibility. But if you want me to know who the various different bearded men in their early 40s are, I'm going to need a little bit more light.
yeah, I don't know if it's just because I haven't seen Coronation Street, but everybody in it looked exactly the same.
They truly did.
It's like the new series of The Traitors, where I'm just like, you all look identical.
Yeah, they all looked like people pretending to be Mag, essentially.
So true. Yeah, they're all just like the Aldi version of Mac, unfortunately.
Yeah, and the episode before and the corridor itself, both filmed with, as you say, that's quite very strange filter on that. I saw people on Reddit being like, "Oh, they've gone for higher production values," and I guess
Have
it
they?
probably is a higher production value in the sense that it looks completely different. But it was quite disconcerting. It just gave every scene during the previous episode, when it was actually in the light, just felt like the final scene of an ITV Sunday night drama.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd say the main note in my Corriedale thing that I wrote down that I'd like to highlight, which summarizes, I think, the tone of all of my other notes, is why did I ever expect that this would be anything other than bleak? Because I
And
think I
also,
was like, oh, this will be fun. All the characters are getting together. Great. And then everything that happened was awful and really sad.
yeah, and also just why did we ever think it wouldn't be totally confusing? Because we don't watch Coronation Street. I've got a little bit more knowledge that I've somehow just picked up than you, but still, like, I did not know who most of these people were. And
No.
I went to watch the equivalent montage for Corrie. It's like, well, this is useless to me. It's just a bunch of people shouting at each other. And
I
in
did
Corriedale
in
itself, the first half was very Corrie. And I was
yeah.
thinking, like, is this just like an episode of Coronation Street with featuring special guests from Emmerdale? But thankfully, it did pick up in the second half for our guys.
Yeah. But then in the second one I was like, this feels like it's mainly Emmerdale and this must be so boring for all the Coronation Street people.
Yeah, it was very much of two halves. And I
Yeah.
did enjoy, like, the little bits where they would cross over, like Jacob helping people from Corrie, or I can't think now of any other examples. We also had, well, I guess we had Ken Barlow and Eric Pollard talking over the vending machine. Now,
Yeah.
are you familiar with Ken Barlow?
No, to me that was just two old men having a chat. But it was very nice.
They didn't know they were being filmed. That was just the actors trying to get a snack. Well, Ken Barlow has been in Coronation Street since day one. He's been in it for like 65 years or something.
Wow.
And so he is a living legend. Well, just
That's
about living,
cool.
I think, teetering on the edge. But yeah, so that, I guess that was a nice thing for the fans. I feel like Eric Pollard doesn't have the same cult status that Ken Barlow does, because even people who don't
No.
watch Corrie may well have heard of Ken Barlow.
I mean, for a moment I thought it was Eric having a chat with Rodney. I had to
Yeah.
stop and be like, oh wait, no, it's just a different old man with sort of flowing hair.
Can you imagine if during their like selection of which characters get to appear, they'd have gone for Rodney, who gets like one episode a year?
Bless him. There were quite a few things that felt like the plane crash episode of Emmerdale from 1993, which
Ooh.
I mean, mainly the fact that we couldn't see any of it.
Most that it remains a mystery to us.
The fact that we were quite confused, but just the fact that all we really heard for the first half of the whole episode was people shouting, "Debbie!" really reminded me of Archie.
So true. There was a lot of screeching of people's names, and it was hard to take, particularly when we didn't know who those names were, and I didn't
Yeah.
honestly care if they lived or died.
I did feel quite sorry for the poor lady who was heavily pregnant and on the side of the road, and at one point her, I assume, partner said to her, "Everything's always so doom and gloom with you." And you think,
I
yeah, but she is scared that she has lost her baby and she's just been in a car crash and now she's on a grass verge. So
Yeah, that's just a bit of Northern wit for you, Lizzie.
I'm more northern than you.
You might live in the north, but let's not forget who was born in the north.
Who feels more northern to you, Simon?
I think it is a tie for 0 at this point.
I've lived here for 12 years, nearly
Okay,
13.
I did only manage 7 years
There we
in the
go.
north.
And then they kicked you out for being the way you are.
Yeah, they're like, go to the Midlands. No one cares about the Midlands.
I enjoyed people from not the Emmerdale universe reacting to just Kane Dingle as a person. Like when he everyone was like, "We need to get them out of this car, what are we gonna do?" And then Kane just like smashed the car window and someone went, "Well, looks like he's got it all in hand." It's like that is how people would react to Kane, just like, I don't know who he is, but he is just getting on with things in quite a violent way.
Yeah, and that's a type, and which we appreciate. He's a no-nonsense guy.
It's not our type, but he's a type.
He's a type. But little before the crash, when Mac decided the only way to deal with this charity situation was to drive to the middle of nowhere, a lovely scenery he took her to. It was beautiful.
Yeah, I think, but I'm not entirely sure because I think they did film this, like, not necessarily in Leeds, but I'm not sure. I thought that it might have been the countryside around the Harewood estate, which is close to where the Emmerdale village is. I think I've done a walk around there that looked really similar.
It did
And I was
feel
like,
like it
"Oh, I
was
wonder
on
if
a
that's
stately
where
home
that is."
estate.
Yeah.
And I'm getting quite lost as to which lies Charity has told to whom. Like, because there's a
I
version she's
think
told to
she
Mac, a
probably
version
is
told
as
to Ross, a
well.
version told to Vanessa. It's just like, what's going on.
I don't think she's told anybody that if it's not Sarah's baby, it's Ross's. I think everybody thinks that if it's not Sarah's, it's Max. It's only Ross who knows
Okay,
it could be him.
that makes sense. I did think Mac was slightly weird, being like, we have to get them at the checkout desk just to be like, this baby might not be yours, but it probably is, which is what he thinks is true.
The checkout desk. They're going to the airport, not Aldi. Check in, right?
Check it. And so I've not lived your life jet setting around the world.
You've not been to an airport.
I've never set foot in one.
Oh dear, good times.
Funny. Anyway, that was all a lot. And then Mac put on his little hat again, the one he used to like run through the woods before. So I don't know if that was another I've grown my hair situation, or if he's just like, this is my hat I wear for emergencies.
I think the hat would feel quite triggering, wouldn't it, if you ended up bunkered with it?
I probably wouldn't
before.
have kept it, to be honest. I might have just been that one.
Yeah. Sure, I mean, you would hope that everything from that bunker had been burnt, but maybe not.
Mac's been through such... Maybe that should be an award we do, like who's had the worst year.
Oh gosh, Mac or April, I don't know who.
Yeah, gosh, they've really been through it. Like,
I think everyone's had a horrible year.
Truly. But I did enjoy... We didn't have much comedy, but I did enjoy Joe so evidently not wanting to help Robert in any way. And I don't remember why there was a boat mentioned, but there was a line that Joe had, which was whereabouts in West Kirby is this boat, which he just did with such disdain.
A boat?
Maybe I just wrote the wrong thing, and maybe it was autocorrect, because I can't imagine why he talked about a boat. But
No, I think I do vaguely remember that, but you're right. Why on earth did that come up? That's quite strange. Yeah, and Robert was basically just like, you have to do this for me, and I will do absolutely anything in the world for you, which is a horrible thing to say to Joe Tate. He's gonna really use that against him.
And I assume what he'll do is try and take back that field that everyone was obsessed about briefly a while ago.
Oh yeah, gosh. Surely he would do more than try and take back a field.
He's like, "I've got another kidney I can have," or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. Or maybe he's asked him to kill someone. I don't know. He's done it before. Well, he tried to do it before.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. Watch this space.
Yeah. I also wrote down a note that Vanessa has been drunk for a fortnight. Like every scene she's in, she's drunk.
Yeah. At this stage in Emmerdale, are there many people who don't have a drinking problem? I think this should not be normalised any more than it has been.
Yeah, it's quite dark, isn't it, for everyone concerned? I'm trying to think if we ever had like an alcohol story. We must have done, but
presumably Rona. Not Rona, Laurel.
Oh yeah, she seems the type.
She seems the type. What, recovering alcoholic?
She's always on edge, bless her. You may recall that I predicted in a while ago when I talked about the 4 combinations of Coronation Street Emmerdale characters that we were going to vote on for which one would win. I said it's definitely going to be Charlotte and Carla, Charity and Carla, and it was indeed Charity and Carla having their little chat in the lift.
Yeah, which was quite random, I felt.
Yeah, it was very much fan service to people who love lesbian couples.
It was just like, we have to do this, but it was quite out of character for Charity, I think, to just be like, if my marriage does end, let me know.
There were also the people like up for grabs who were actually already featured quite heavily in the episode, because I think all the other combinations just, had really no reason to be there, because they've like Nicola and what's his name, Roy, like neither of them involved. Why would Nicola have gone to the hospital? I don't know.
Yeah, I guess they would have just woven it in somehow. Maybe Jimmy would have been in the accident.
Yeah, or maybe it's completely unrelated. She'll just been on a day out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, who's to say? I really enjoyed that at one point John had like an actual gun and Kane just sort of grabbed a stick and like ran into the woods, and I was like, somehow I still back Kane over John.
John does seem pretty incapable of using that gun.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess you mentioned earlier, but Graham is back.
Yeah, and I did have to look up who he was, but good to know.
Well, as I said to you in a voice note, I don't care about him at all. I found him quite a boring character. But he was he must have been there for like maybe a year before I started watching. So maybe he had lots of interesting things happened after that. Before that, he just sort of glowered. That was his main occupation.
That's a shame.
Yeah, he was like a sort of
And
butler slash henchman.
he was a sort of father figure to Joe Tate, right?
Well, I think he became that when I was. I don't remember him being particularly that when I was watching, but maybe it did flourish.
Maybe it grew into something beautiful. Because I think that did Joe kind of clock him in the hospital and was like, "What?"
Yeah, I thought maybe he did, and then Graham was staring at Joe, like, "I've got something I need to do." But as far as we know from our reading of Emmerdale Wikipedia, Graham is dead. So
Yeah,
curious.
I'm not really sure how they're going to weave that in because I think I saw somebody, it might have been on Reddit, being like, Graham is so dead. Like, he was sort of killed in multiple ways.
Yeah, I think they like genuinely showed his cremation on screen or something. So I don't know exactly how we're going to get past that.
Well,
And
where
I
there's a
did, I
will,
did,
there's a way.
and I think he is a popular character. I just found him really boring, and I was not excited to see him back.
Oh, sorry to hear that.
Mm. But
Well,
I think he does tie into the Rona whole thing because, well, I know that Rona's husband killed him, but I don't know if you. I think was he in a relationship with Rona at one point? I don't know.
yeah, I clearly have no light to shed, but I am excited to find out more in a way that you seem not to be.
Yeah, I'll try my best. But of all the past characters to bring back, he'd been very low down my list.
Okay, fair enough. Well, I wonder if it'll mean that Joe gets like a bit of a storyline with him rather than just with like falling out of windows.
As long as it doesn't get in the way of his Sam friendship. But
Yeah, that
yeah,
is the most important thing to me right now.
I think he maybe was married to Kim at one point, so perhaps that will be a
Oh gosh,
thing.
I thought you meant Joe. I was like, no. Oh, that's interesting. Oh yeah, I think I saw somebody on Facebook being like, Graham was always the love of Kim's life, and I was
Oh
like,
gosh.
really?
Seems unlikely, doesn't it? But
Yeah, we'll
you
find
never
out.
know.
I can see her with a sort of like henchman type.
Yeah, maybe they'll get back to being ruthless. I know the actress, really wants to be like evil and ruthless, but I just find that quite uninteresting as a character. I prefer a bit of a
Mm,
more rounded one. But
there's enough evil people in Emmerdale.
exactly, think we just don't need any more. Um, and guess who is going to get a story coming up? It's my friend Victoria.
Yeah, I mean, I think this story will not last long, and then she'll be on maternity leave. But you know,
Yeah, she's got some maternity leave prison coming up, which is presumably where she go because I mean I know we're not talking post Corriedale episode, but we can just mention this one thing that she did kill John. So,
yeah, that is something that happened. And she does
yeah.
seem minded to break down and confess it to anybody who gives her a moment's chance.
Because she is quite a moral character. Like she's not going to
Yeah,
just hide
true.
a. Um,
Hide a
yeah,
murder
so
under a bushel.
she's not one to be discreet, re a murder. But I can't work out exactly how pregnant she is. I don't know quite when she'll go to prison, but or maybe surprise us, and it'll turn out that actually she goes on maternity leave for some completely other reason. But
Yeah, maybe. I'm quite enjoying her just like relentlessly being in a puffer jacket even when indoors.
a puffer jacket that does absolutely nothing to disguise her pregnancy.
Yeah, like they could have chosen something that would do it a bit better, but I don't mind seeing a pregnancy bump, but it is quite amusing to me.
Yeah, well, whatever they did with Steph, do that again. I didn't have a clue about hers for months.
I think she was mainly holding a very large handbag,
Yeah, I guess
which
that's
is a
not
bit more
as
Steph
on
than
brand for
Victoria.
Victoria.
Yeah.
She could just carry like a large Hessian sack or something.
Yeah, she famously loves Hessian sacks.
Well, she just like cart oats around or something. I don't know whatever farmers do. Because
Oh
briefly,
dear.
she had a passion to get back into farming, but
Yeah, that was brief. That has ended quite abruptly, hasn't
yeah.
it? Like so many things in Emmerdale.
Overall, what were your thoughts on Corriedale? Yay or nay?
Like I enjoyed it, but I would not claim to understand it.
So much like life. Oh, I forgot to mention that Jay had like um raised dead body in his car
Gosh, so
or
true.
van.
And there was quite a funny moment where somebody from Coronation Street was like, "I swear I know that guy because wasn't he also in Coronation Street?"
He was, yeah.
I found that amusing when he was like,
I
I'm
did like
sure I used to
that.
work with him, but like it can't be.
That was a nice touch. No one was like,
Yeah.
this runaway criminal John looks exactly like someone who was murdered in Coronation Street, but that's
True.
we can't have everything.
We can't have it all.
Well, yeah, I think overall I enjoyed it. I think it meant a lot more to people who actually watched Coronation. Because I was thinking, if I actually did watch both, like if there was a Neighbours Emmerdale crossover, I'd have been beside myself. It would have been so amazing.
Yeah, I
And
think
that
it
must
probably
be
just
what
wasn't aimed
people
at
thinking.
us, and that's
No.
fine.
And I was listening to the Inside Soap podcast where they're like, hopefully they'll still get people watching the other soap if they only watch one. It's like, no, I'm not going to watch any Coronation Street after this, I'm afraid.
No, I think that my proverbial toe has been dipped in and it's had enough.
We've dipped in, we're out. We checked in and checked out. But we will be appearing on or doing a crossover episode, I think, with the Conversation Street podcast, which is fun. Basically, we'll keep people up to date with what's gone on in our respective soaps since Corriedale.
Yeah, especially because I think obviously we don't particularly know what's going on in Coronation Street in any way, and I don't think they follow Emmerdale, so it'll probably just be a little hour or so of us being like, who was that person and what did that mean? But it'll be fun, so I hope you enjoy it.
Yeah, we'll keep you posted with that, and yeah, that'll be fun. So we asked people to make predictions for the year and send them in. It's too late to email predictions, but do get in touch at dinglealltheway.pod at gmail.com if you'd like to. So we just take
we
turns
actually
to
got a
read
lot,
these.
didn't we?
We got a lot. Oh, yeah, we got not like millions of people, but everyone did give lots
Everyone
of them. So should
deep.
we just read them and give our thoughts as we go?
Yeah, definitely. Okay, shall I read the first chunk?
Go for it.
These are from Rachel. Is this Rachel Troutman, who we love?
It's our pal Rachel Troutman.
She makes amazing quilts. You should look her up.
I have. They are amazing. I'm very impressed.
I was mainly talking to the listeners, but I'm glad that you have as well.
I'm so sorry that I forgot that we were being overheard.
You forget that we were, in fact, recording a podcast. It's so rude of people to be like prying into our personal
what is this
conversations.
eavesdropping? Actually,
it's disgusting, actually. So Rachel thinks that Kev is going to return and develop his father-son relationship with Lewis, but also have an affair with Nicola, and then Jimmy has to win her back. And I can semi-see that because I do feel like Kev and Nicola kind of had chemistry, but I wondered if it was more friendship chemistry than anything else. I don't know.
Yeah, I really didn't want it to happen, but what I could see happening is maybe Jimmy thinking they're having an affair, and that could be quite fun.
Yeah, maybe that's more it, that he like is just like, oh gosh, they get on really well.
Yeah,
that could be fun. She also thinks something finally will happen to Joe that makes him realise he can be a caring person and have a heart, and that Sam will be his best man. And I would love to see both of those things. That'd be so nice.
It'd be so cute.
She has high hopes that April and Marlon will spend most of 2026 just staying with relatives far away from the village, and I do resonate with that. A, for their own sakes, and B, because we've seen too much of them this year.
For literally everyone's peace of mind, please.
Yeah. She writes that Eric dies in Corriedale, which we do now know did not happen.
Sorry, Rachel.
But that if he had, then Kerry would have kept his money from Jacob. I can see that. And she also wrote something which I was meaning to say and forgot to say. She put a side note. I thought Eric didn't have any money anymore because of the Bitcoin tragedy. And that's been on my mind. Like, what is this money that he's so keen to keep from the taxman? Because he lost it all.
That's such a good point. And if he does have any, he should be giving it to Brenda.
Yeah, because he literally robbed Brenda's life savings.
Yeah.
I wonder what Brenda would think about the marriage to Kerry.
That's so true. I mean, for all we know, Brenda and Eric are still married.
Yeah. Yeah. Wait, were they married or were they just together?
Maybe they're just together. In real life, they're married, but maybe not in the show.
Interesting. We should look that up. Yeah, Rachel also thinks that Ross is going to somehow forgive Charity for all the lies and they're going to reconnect, which I can maybe see. She had a random coupling of Billy and Belle, which I think, have we maybe spoken about that before?
I think you mentioned it last time. Yeah, belly could happen.
Belly! Oh, that's tough. And then her final prediction was Caleb is due for an affair and it will be with Manpreet since she and Ruby are now friends.
I love that Caleb is due for an affair. It's such a funny phrasing. I really hope that doesn't happen. But
yeah, so do I, but I can see it.
It could happen. Jeremy, thank you, Jeremy, says, forget Rob Brown. This is the romance that needs to happen, as well as Cammy and Belle. Okay. Claudette sets her sight on PC swirling. Keaton for regular neighborhood watch, or neighborhood watch, yes, neighborhood watch could be a whole other thing, meetings following recent goings on and begins a charm offensive, claiming she simply likes to be neighborly. She offers to iron his shirts and epaulets after noticing a stray crease in his PC attire. Gosh, Jeremy's written some like fan fiction.
I know, this is lovely.
Charles clocks that she has taken a shine to swirling. Laurel thinks it's sweet. Nicola thinks it's hilarious. And Manpreet warns that mixing romance with laundry services could end in disaster. Claudette soon sets an extra place at the table, and on Valentine's night, when Charles is waylaid by dodgy fuse box, Swirling finds himself at a candlelit dinner for two. ...
I love it. Oh my word, Jeremy, you have a talent.
You do. Gosh, you've really set a scene.
Yeah, I can see it. And I would like Claudette to have a bit of romance in her life.
And why not with PC Swirling? And, you know, he pops in every now and then. I always think that it must be interesting for that actor who's, I don't know how long he's done that role, like 15 years or something, of coming in every now and then. Give him a storyline.
Yeah, why not ramp him up?
Maybe Dylan's his son, I don't know.
Dylan can't be everyone's son.
I disagree.
We had some great suggestions from James, who is one of our most consistent and favourite emailers in.
Yes,
who
thank you,
wrote,
James.
My wishes for Emmerdale this coming year would be improved writers, the weakest part of the show, and a return back to the sense of realism. Even though it's now 25 plus years ago, the show in its current format could learn from the Emmerdale of the 90s, which had a blend of strong characters, humour, farm life, and topics that were original. Thank you, James. This is me to a T. I love the pre-90s style. I don't know if I'm necessarily as taking issue with the present writers in, like, I don't know, the scripts and stuff, but I do think as a general vibe, slower pace of life, more farming, more scenes where like nothing's really happening, less trauma. Sign me up for that.
Yeah.
He writes, it would be good to see day-to-day village life a lot more community-based events. Also, how does religion play in the village? How do people get by on what would you feel is not great wages? Oh, right, yeah, that's so true. I guess a lot of people there are probably on minimum wage.
Yeah, and none of them go to work, so where are they getting this income from?
Yeah, true. Well, actually, I did notice that Robert was quite intent on getting back to the farm, which I thought was good.
That's
after
true.
Christmas. But other than that, nobody works.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I particularly think Emmerdale used to have a reputation for being like the more funny of the soaps. I think Coronation Street does as well, but certainly compared to EastEnders, it was the one that had witty storylines or like silly, funny bits. And I think some fans didn't like that, some did. But we need a bit more humor, and definitely it's been so bleak.
Yeah, for sure. It's been a long, bleak year of sad things happening, and I would love to see a bit more fun. I don't think it's likely, but that is what I would like.
Yeah, more community, that'd be great.
Yeah.
Tamsin says, I think there'll be a potential custody battle between Charity and Sarah once the baby is born. That's a really good point. I think there will be.
Yeah.
Charity and Mac have to break up next year, right?
I think you're right, Tamsin, surely. Chaz
and Liam will still not get married, agreed. Robin will get Seb back, yes, only for him to end up in the baby underused child drawer. Yes. He certainly will never be seen if he comes back, but I think it seems clear to me that Seb is going to come back, and that's going to be a whole thing with Rob, Ron, and Ross. And I think it'll be interesting, but I do think the presence of the child is the least interesting part of it. So I'm fine for him to be a topic, not a presence. Yeah, surely. My predictions for this year, which I popped in our little Google Doc of predictions, I wondered if, I know that it seems very unlikely right now because they are in the middle of a feud, Charity might end up back with Vanessa because of all of this going on. You know, the line between anger and love does always fall quite close. I think it's very possible, yeah.
Because I do think, as Tamsin says, Charity and Mac are not about to last. So they might get back together. I also wondered whether Jay and Laurel might get back again. I wondered whether Laurel had contacted Jay and been like, I'm in a spot of bother. Can you get rid of Ray? And that's why he was in the van.
Oh, that's interesting.
And that maybe Laurel and Jay might get back together now that Jay's discovered how to have a heart and be a bit more romantic, brackets Kerry.
Yeah,
then he might be a bit more normal again.
I never really bought how she went from like being married to him to really hating him, and I think she does have that soft spot for him and vice versa. So yeah, I like that.
I wrote maybe April will have a bit more of a normal year, but I don't think she actually will.
Yeah, I mean, she might just do like Belle and just not really be on screen after her big storyline.
I wondered if Steph will come back and get back together with Ross. That would be quite nice.
I really hope so, yeah.
I put maybe Rodney will be around a bit more.
I shouldn't have thought so, no.
And that Chaz is pregnant with the taxi driver's child.
Do we think... Oh, she did have a baby a couple of years ago, didn't she? So maybe
I don't
she
know.
the early 50-something cast constantly getting pregnant on this show. She might not be in her early 50s. Don't come at me, Lucy. I'm going to look that up now. How old is Lucy Pargeter?
I think she's probably mid to late 40s.
She is 48.
There we go.
Prime childbearing year. Great.
Is that what we say?
Something you want to say?
No, carry on.
Okay, thank you, Chris, for getting in touch. He says the police will arrest Moira Kane for the body on the land. I think that's actually already appeared in spoilers, but I don't think I had when Chris said it.
Ooh.
So Chris is ahead of the curve. Ruby will blame Caleb for Anya's death and go off the rails. I forgot about Anya.
I think I saw him post this on Reddit and was like, yeah, that's definitely going to happen.
Bear will return home eventually and will need to go into rehab or similar for his drug dependency. Look, Chris, I've been very clear that I don't have the time for it.
You just hope he's actually dead.
We can go to rehab somewhere else. We just never mentioned. Chris thought Jay would be killed off in Corriedale. Nope. And Archie moves in with Laurel. I thought Mac was going to die, actually. So no one from Emmerdale actually died. Holdgate Farm is vacant, leading to Cammie's family buying it, and they moved to the village. Ooh,
cute.
That's fun.
We all want Cammie's family to move to the village.
Don't we just? Dylan finds that Bear is actually his long-lost father. Gosh.
Not everybody can be Dylan's father.
You've been very clear about that.
There's actually a queue.
Mac and Charity split when the truth is revealed, but they eventually reunite. I mean, I think they'll definitely split. Maybe, but I get the feeling that Mac is leaving, but I don't know what it's based on.
Yeah, I hope not, but he might be.
At the end of the year, Rob won't get married. Chris was so ahead of the curve. This was before they got engaged. Gabby, I've forgotten Gabby even existed, gets together with Cammie.
She does sort of famously hate Cammie, but maybe.
Well, as someone recently said to me, hate can't end love.
It's so true. Wow, I've heard that recently as well.
Noah and Kathy start seeing each other later in the year after she turns 19.
Who the heck is Kathy?
Kathy is Bob's daughter, who is never on screen. I
thought that was Angel.
You love to mix those up.
I know, they are the same person in my mind.
I do think, with all the love in the world to the actors playing Noah, Kathy, and Angel, recast all of them and start again. I've got nothing against them, but they're not bringing a lot to the table, and they're never on screen. So let's just recast with some 25-year-olds playing 19 and we've talked before, we don't have a lot in that age group.
Yeah,
or at least we don't see a lot in that age group. And I think
fun.
Yeah, it could be fun. Could get some really good actors into that. Just because I mean none of them are bad actors, but none of them are particularly setting the screen alight, and they're not very interesting characters. So need a bit more from them.
Yeah, if the characters had a bit more going on, then it would be a lot more fun to watch them.
Yeah, Noah just sort of whines and then occasionally fixes electrics, which is not in itself compelling.
Hey, I love a whiny electrician. I've made that clear.
I'd like someone to fix my electrics in my car, actually. So if you can break your electricians, do that. And then finally, Chris says Tracy and Ross start dating. Tracy and Ross, interesting.
Yeah, I can't see it, but sure.
Yeah, I mean, whatever it is, it has to be a stopgap till Steph and Ross get back together.
Yeah, of course.
And then on to finally me. So I keep talking.
Yeah, you keep your own.
Cammie's family joined the show. That's a must, not a need.
You've been wanting that for a long time.
One for me, yeah. And I love the idea of them being on a farm, but I don't care what they do as long as they do something on the show. I think that could be fun. We need that. I'm afraid I have put Billy leaves. I don't want him to leave, but I feel like he might be on his way out.
I'm really anti that.
I don't want it to happen. I'm not saying it. This is a prediction, not a wish.
Stop speaking it over the show. What if you're accidentally manifesting it?
I don't think that's a thing.
Neither do I.
David returns to the show and starts a relationship with Steph while Ross sees in the background. I think pretty little David, Steph, Ross love triangle.
Isn't David Sarah's dad?
No, he's Jacob's dad.
Okay, cool.
Or in fact, is Jacob's stepdad, but he was in a relationship both with Jacob's biological mum and his adoptive mum, who was in turn his aunt. So, but David.
Where is he now? Is he just like on the run or something?
No, I think he just went off for a bit.
Unusual moves from him to never visit.
So he's Eric's son, which is why Eric is Jacob's granddad. And yeah, Jacob's. So again, Eric is not a blood relative of Jacob. There's this weird thing where they just sort of went from him being stepdad to him being like ex-stepdad, but that just became dad, which is quite nice. I love that actually they remembered a paternal or parental relationship, because as so often, like I said the other day, like Tracy was basically a stepmom to Jacob and then now means nothing to him.
Yeah, true.
It's nice that David did actually take the role. Anyway, I think that could be fun. You don't know who David is. But that's fine. Jimmy hasn't had a storyline for a while, so I've put he was in an accident that means he has to use a wheelchair, but then they realised that it's a psychological paralysis.
And that was, you would put that in the category of a prediction for 2026.
Yes.
Okay. Great. Well, I for one can't wait to see that exact thing happen.
I did decide to go quite specific on them, as you can tell. Well, some of them. Some of them like characters unnamed join. Some of them is a quite detailed plot points of a hypothetical scenario.
I like it.
It's actually a storyline that I stole from Neighbours. But anyway.
How dare you?
Chaz involved in some sort of deep fake storyline. Because I feel like they haven't done like an AI is evil storyline, and they've got surely one's coming.
Yeah, surely. I mean, everybody's got to be hitting that note somewhere.
And then this one I thought would be interesting. Mary develops an eating disorder because they haven't. Because I like eating disorders amongst older people is a thing that doesn't get covered a lot and happens. So
yeah, true. And she has had a lot of stress and very strange situations happening in her life over the last year that are bound to cause trauma in some way.
So we can check back in at the end of the year to see how many, if any, of these predictions came true. I mean, some of them are very broad, some of them are unnervingly specific.
I think maybe we should have some sort of like public checklist that gets ticked off.
Yeah, no, we should.
Maybe like outside 10 Downing Street or something.
You
live in the south. You could do that.
Yeah, but basically next door to 10 Downing Street.
And I'll put a secondary one outside the Emmerdale studios. No one will notice.
It's true, just to spray paint on the wall back.
Ah, so good.
Which one of us will be arrested first?
You.
Yeah, they're probably more protective over 10 Downing Street, aren't they?
Like, marginally.
Well, thanks so much for all your predictions. And if you didn't send them in, I hope you've got some up your sleeve. And we look forward to going through this roller coaster of a year with you.
Yeah, I can't wait to tick every single one of those things off. Especially those people who are going to die in Corriedale.
Yeah, imagine if they're just like, NB, we've got to mention, but Jay died off screen in Corriedale.
It'll just be like a PSA at the beginning of the thing. Sorry, Chris, you're out.
Yeah. Jay succumbed to hepatitis B.
Off camera.
Which is not known to be immediately fatal, but in this case.
These things do happen.
It was Hep B Awareness Week and we forgot to cover it.
We forgot to cover it. We just had to slip this one in under the carpet.
Oh dear. Oh gosh. Well, yes, good. Thanks everyone. And look out. Yeah, we'll keep you posted on the Conversation Street crossover. Yeah,
gosh, you're going to be really sick of us, actually. We're releasing way too much content at the moment.
Yeah, no, people love it. Do get in touch, dinglealltheway.pod@gmail.com, or you can find us on Instagram, dinglealltheway.pod. You can see some of our awards there if you missed the awards episode.
Yeah, I will say I have recently really tried to cut down my screen time. I'm only on Instagram sort of 5 minutes at a time, 3 times a day. So I wasn't very responsive on the Instagram even before. But I've truly snookered myself there, so sorry about
that. We'll make sure to pop something up for Happy Awareness Week because it's so important.
Yeah. Maybe a sort of memorial post for Jay.
Jay, no one liked you. Love.
You may or may not be dead. We haven't noticed yet.
Oh dear.
Oh, we should both go to bed.
We should. Happy New Year, everyone. Thanks for
Happy New
listening.
Year. Bye.
Bye.